Hey guys, we're going to talk about 7 habits of highly ineffective people. Number 1, they blame other people for their struggles. Life isn't fair. We get that. Everybody gets that. However, when you put your attention onto things that you can't control or things that you can control, and you blame other people for those things or just your circumstances, you're not helping yourself get out. You're giving yourself excuses instead of bettering yourself and bettering other people around you. Number 2, they don't expect or are crippled by setbacks along the way. You see, it doesn't matter what sort of path that you're putting yourself through, school, work, a personal goal, weight loss, it doesn't matter the goal. You're going to have setbacks. It's not only inevitable, but it's actually preferable, because along the ways of those setbacks, you're going to learn more about yourself, learn more about the process, and make the end result that much more satisfying. Highly ineffective people tend to hit setbacks, not expecting them, and then blame everything and get frustrated and get demotivated. That's just how the process goes, ladies and gentlemen. Setbacks are going to happen. They will make you better, and not only are they good for your growth, but they're also going to make a much more satisfying story when you do finally get there. Not only expect setbacks, but learn to push through them and work around them. Number 3, highly ineffective people work hard, not smart. You see, nothing makes me roll my eyes more, even more than a lazy person, than somebody who's lazy by working hard. Oh yeah, well, I work at 40 hours a week. I remember my first part-time job. Yeah, I'm working 75 hours, 80 hours. Yeah, shut up, bozo. Nothing tells me that you're a lazy worker like telling me that you work hard. You see, there's nothing easier next to just not working at all, to just working and just working and working and working indiscriminately and applying yourself without really applying yourself. You see, I know a lot of people, a lot of coaches in the Overwatch scene that worked a lot harder than I did, but they didn't really apply themselves. They would spend hours upon hours just looking at VODs and coaching. They'd brag about how many hours of coaching and how little sleep they've gotten. Meanwhile, I technically coached less, but I coached with an intensity and with a self-reflection that they never could match. And that's why I'm much, much better than they ever will be or ever could be. They've got the wrong mentality. You see, it's not about not working hard. You must work hard to be successful. But working hard indiscriminately and not working smarter, while a trite phrase is definitely accurate, whether it's in athleticism, whether it's in a field of learning or work, you need to not just work hard and feel good about yourself for working hard. You need to actually be applying yourself and making those hours count. It's all about the Pareto principle, finding what hours are actually worth the effort putting in and being more efficient along the way. Work hard, not smart, or work smart, not hard. Number 4, highly ineffective people fail to self-reflect or contemplate. And this one really goes hand in hand with the second point, or the point just before, excuse me. If you are just working hard and just applying yourself and working, but failing to actually take the time and self-reflect about what you're doing, what you're applying yourself, your relationships, your passions, the direction that you're going, the choices that you've made, the choices you're planning on making short-term, this week, this month, this year, and even the long-term beyond that, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. You see, highly ineffective people tend to be completely tunnel vision. They only live in the day-to-day. They don't think about the future. They don't reevaluate the way that you're doing things. Some of the biggest innovations that I had, not only as a coach, but as a person, was taking a shower, or lying in bed, or taking a walk and thinking and deciding, maybe I could do this, or what about this, or doing that. I made more progress in those minutes than I did in the hours actually just working. You see, there's nothing worse than not receiving feedback with what you're doing. And the most important type of feedback is usually internal feedback, evaluating what you're doing, how you're doing, and asking yourself whether I could be doing it better. And again, this applies to everything, whether it's personal, work, or education. Number 5, highly ineffective people make their ego currently more important than the future self. You see, nothing is more likely to trip you up in your path to progress than saying, I'm good where I'm at right now. And being scared to admit failure, scared to take risks, scared to look bad, even to yourself. You see, you have to get comfortable with saying that, yeah, I'm not that smart. I made some mistakes, or right now I'm definitely not doing things the best that you can. Being able to look yourself in the eye and say, yeah, I probably could be doing something better right now. That's how growth happens. You see, some of the worst players that I have ever coached were players with big egos. And the reason why big egos are a problem is because they say, where I'm at right now is perfect. Where I could be is irrelevant. Where I am right now is perfect. And the problem with that is that stifles growth, that stifles progress. Not only do you look like an ass and really tick people off, but it prevents you from actually progressing as a person. You see, you have to have a lack of ego to really care about your own personal growth. That's the irony. People with the biggest egos are the ones that are really tripping themselves up over and over and over. It's not just about being a nicer person. It's about being a better person for yourself by actually having, you know what? I'm probably not in the best position right now. I'm willing to take feedback from the outside, or even willing to take risks and potentially risk failure through trying things, because I know in the long run it's going to make me a better person. Real confidence isn't knowing that I'm the best right now. Real confidence is that I'm going to figure out the best way, even if I look like a bozo along the way. Highly ineffective people, fail to treat people with respect. Not only is it the wrong thing to do, but it means no matter really how successful you are, you miss the most important and satisfying thing of all: treating people with dignity, building relationships, doing the right thing. I mean, how many times are we going to have to talk about the Scrooge? How many times are we going to look at these famous, successful millionaires and billionaires in our medias and TV shows and movies and go, oh man, like they had everything, but they had nothing. And yet in our lives, we do the exact same things, if only in a smaller scale. You see, you don't need to be a rich, crazy, old, eccentric billionaire to treat people disrespectfully. I know a lot of poor people, poorer than even I am, that treat people disrespectfully. And I think that's something that shows who you are as a person, no matter how wealthy or successful you are. You're a failure if you don't treat people with respect. You're a failure if you don't treat people with kindness. Now, people can be pretty awful, but it doesn't mean that you can't treat them with respect. Treat them with the same respect that you want to be treated with. It's the golden rule, and it's a good one. Finally, highly ineffective people fail to see the bigger picture and are the worst for it. And this really ties into a little bit with the last one, but expands a little bit beyond that. You see, nothing is more important in life than applying yourself to work, family, friends, relationships, working hard at the end of the day, and enjoying a nice meal with friends, or doing something with family, or just feeling the satisfaction of a job well done. It's a very ecclesiastical way of looking at things, and it's 100% accurate. It doesn't matter how successful you are. If you've alienated yourself from other people, if you have ruined your life and the way that you treat other people, or you have pushed yourself so hard that you no longer have the satisfaction of a job well done, no matter what your job is, janitor or CEO, then you are a failure. And I'm going to read something really quick here from a book I just finished called Frankenstein. You may have heard of it. And in the book, the first person narrative describes something along his path to creating a monster. And he says, I do not think that the pursuit of knowledge or work is an exception to this rule. If the study to which you apply yourself has a tendency to weaken your affections and to destroy your taste for those simple pleasures in which no alloy can possibly mix, then that study is certainly unlawful, that is to say, not benefiting the human mind. And I hope that you keep that in mind. Have a wonderful day.